Hey guys, this is Sam, and today Apple released the 8th beta version of iOS 11 to developers, and if you happen to be a public beta tester not on the developer version, you'll probably be seeing beta 7 for your device as well today. This time around, contrary to pretty much every other iOS 11 beta since June 5th when the first one was released, there's not a lot to talk about this time. iOS 11 is nearing completion with beta 8. I think that this will be the last beta that we see before the Golden Master release, which is probably going to happen on September 12th. Now, if the September 12th event is going to happen, Apple will be sending out invites very shortly, probably sometime later this week. But usually what happens is Apple announces the new iPhones and anything else they've been working on, but they also release the Golden Master versions of iOS and sometimes macOS, watchOS, and tvOS as well. So September 12th is the day to watch for, because that will probably be when we see the final version of iOS 11 before the public release just a week or two later. Moving back to iOS 11 beta 8, it was a really tiny update. On my iPhone 7 here, it was only 60.4 megabytes, which is really tiny, and I wasn't expecting to see anything crazy or fun like new emojis or new wallpapers, but I'm starting to get just a little bit nervous. We are on beta 8, the Golden Master traditionally would have new wallpapers, but with iOS 10 we only saw one new wallpaper and then the exclusive iPhone 7 bubble wallpapers, which you guys can download below if you happen to be interested. But overall, we haven't seen a whole lot of major change as far as wallpapers or emojis go. Apple previewed new emojis that were coming that are probably going to end up dropping in a future update like iOS 11.1 or iOS 11.2, but in the initial release of iOS 11, there are no different emojis than there were in iOS 10.3. And we got the new beach wallpaper in iOS 11 beta 1, but since then we have not seen anything else new in the wallpaper section, except a few betas back, they actually removed all the fish live wallpapers. Some of us thought it was a bug, but it turns out that it looks like they're just completely removed. Maybe Apple was making room for new live wallpapers for the iPhone 7s and then iPhone Edition or iPhone 8 models coming later this year, but we don't know. So there's just less wallpapers in iOS 11 than there were before, which is something that I think a lot of people aren't totally cool with. So the changes in iOS 11 beta 8 are really tiny. The first one is that Safari feels a little bit snappier. A lot of people on the iOS beta subreddit have been saying this, but honestly, this is not a change I would have noticed unless someone pointed it out right in front of me. Yes, it does feel really smooth and really responsive, but I don't think it's something I would have noticed just by scrolling through a couple of web pages or browsing online. But it does feel really great, and that is something that I wanted to make a note of. Next up, the volume HUD or heads-up display seems to disappear a little bit faster in iOS 11 beta 8 than it did in previous versions of iOS 11 or iOS 10 for the matter. So many people have a lot of hostile opinions when it comes to this because it does take up a lot of the screen, and if you're trying to do something, this blocks a decent amount of your view. A lot of people have proposed a solution to put the volume indicator up in the status bar part of the screen. I think that would be super cool, but in iOS 11, Apple still has not done that across the board, although they have made some improvements if you're using the built-in video player. Anyway guys, those are all the changes that we know of so far. If any more changes are discovered, I'll be sure to update the blog post down below in the description, and if you want to check out the iOS 11 wallpaper, I will link that down there as well. If you enjoyed the video, it would really help me out as always if you hit that like button below, and of course hit subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I've been Sam, I hope you're doing great, and I'll talk to you later.